Linnet Carty. I'm so glad to be back with you for the new season, and we got a fabulous show for you today. Our first guest, guess what? I'm not going to tell you about her. Take a look at this video clip.
Your relationships and the quality of them determine the level of peace, love, joy, and financial reward that you experience. For over 15 years, I have been helping companies improve their bottom line, increase their sales, improve their relationships with their customers, and improve the morale within the organization. I love working with business owners that have a vision, that know where they want to go, but maybe not all the strategies on how to get there. You know, it's not just about the business. Oftentimes when I'm working with business owners, what we delve into is what really brings them joy. And that's the personal aspect. That's balance. What do they want? They want to be able to take their business to a level where they can have more freedom to travel, to spend time with their family. It's not just one aspect, it's the whole package. The third step is the reaching out step, because your relationships are so important to your growth and your success, and learning how to communicate most effectively will help get you there that much faster. The fourth step is execute. Once you know what you are uniquely qualified to do, you know you want to take back control of your life, you work in your relationships successfully, then you have to take action. Create a plan and take action.
Finding something big, how do you figure that out?
That's an excellent question. Does anyone here have an interest in having more discretionary income? Yes? Fantastic. Does anyone here have a business that they would like to take to a whole new level? Wonderful. Does anyone here have an interest, have a desire to have a loving, passionate, fulfilling relationship? All right, we're on the same page here. Fantastic. I love it.
Just saw is the lovely Heather Hansen-O'Neil. Please join me and welcome her to the studio.
Being on your show. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you back. So how have you been?
Wonderful, of course. All fired up.
All fired up.
Yeah.
And of course, I got to mention your book, Find Your Fire at 40. Tell everybody a little bit about this book and what inspired you to write this book.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I was doing a lot of executive coaching, corporate coaching, and we were talking about all this business stuff, and inevitably in a coaching scenario, people get comfortable, and it kept coming up that there was a lot of discontent with my clients. They were jobs that they didn't really like, they weren't happy, and it just so happened I was kind of going through the same thing at the same time. So I did some more research, and I put together this book with some solutions on how people can find what they're uniquely qualified to do and get fired up about that and create a plan so that they can become more joyful about their lives.
Yes, so give people an example. You're in a rut, you've been doing the same job for 10 or 12 years, you have a passion that's maybe over here, not quite related to what you're actually have been doing for 10 years. Give us an example of
the
some
first
things you have in the book.
I have a couple of really interesting things in there, but the first thing is to recognize that you deserve to live a joyful life. A lot of times people are just going along, following a path that someone else created for them, and not realizing that they have the power to make the choice to do something better. They think that they're stuck, but understanding they deserve something great, that's the first step. And then having the confidence. A lot of it has to do with building confidence.
And courage.
And courage, yes. I mean, the people who are most successful, they all experience fear. They just do it anyway and work through it and are okay with failing sometimes. So I talk about overcoming fear a lot and some secret tips on how to do that, and it has to do with taking small steps. So sometimes people can take the jump and start a new business. Other people need to take baby steps to get there and maybe do it on the side first. It depends on people's personality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your speaking engagements and what you actually do as a coach. The clip that we just saw showed you coaching a group of people. Speak to that a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have so many different ways because people learn in different capacities, and I just want to get the message out there in the best way that will speak to the audience. And so sometimes it's one-on-one, and other times I do these great retreats and full-day events where we really get intensive into overcoming fear and figuring out, brainstorming ways for them to create the plan and then how to take action on it. So those are a lot of fun. And then I also do large keynote speeches too. So it's whatever works for my audience.
Whatever works for the audience.
And products and things like books and audios.
Yes, I know you have the books and the audios. But what I'm more interested in, and I think we're just going to miss it, is the conference. The From Fear to Fire conference. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, so excited because I have some amazing content. But in addition to that, I'm even more excited about the powerful women that I have coming for the panel, people who have overcome challenges and are now great business owners, philanthropists, just amazing people in general. So they're going to be imparting their wisdom. I have two additional speakers, Carol McManus from the LinkedIn Lady,
Yes.
and Roseanne Levy, who wrote a wonderful book about finding your passion later in life.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the most fun for us.
It
So
is.
when you're young, you don't know that.
Exactly.
You don't know
You
it.
don't have the confidence
Exactly,
either.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we only have like 2 minutes left, and I know the audience is like, we want to hear more. She'll be here afterwards, so you guys can talk to her. Stop the madness, embrace the children. Please touch on that quickly before we wrap the segment.
Okay, this is something that's very near and dear to me, and I talk to my clients about finding your why. And this is one of my whys, because where I'm located in Bethel, Connecticut, it's very close to Newtown, and I just realized that this is just too close to home and something has to be done. Now I talked to my—
That's where all the children got killed, for those that don't know, or
don't
Newtown.
know,
Yeah.
just horrible. But what happens is that I feel like the things that I talk to my older clients, like people in their 40s, are the same things. It's about finding your unique gift. So if you can use those same strategies as children to help them focus on what they're uniquely qualified to do, so they don't have as much time and energy to have the negative influences that are out there. So I want to bring this to the corporate world. So when a corporation hires me to come in and do a keynote or some training, I am going to donate my time on either end of their keynote to the school or community center that's local to them, wherever they are across the country, and it'll be in their name. I don't need any accolades.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
That's awesome. It's a great intersection between business and education.
Yes, bring it
We
to
need
the
that. That's
community.
awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Great. Well,
So
Heather,
excited.
thank you so much for coming on the program. You must get her book, Find Your Fire at 40. Heather Hansen-O'Neil. Say your website, please.
It's fireinfive.com, and it's 5 the word typed out.
Typed
Yes.
out. You'll see it here. There's the graphic,
Yeah.
so they can see it. Very good.
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Heather. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Coming up next, we have two very, very special guests. The topic, alopecia. See you in a minute.
My most recent exercise in overcoming fear was climbing a mountain. I made the grave error in judgment of being pretty good at it the first time. So I go up the beginner slope and I'm kind of going and I'm feeling good. And I hear the guys that I'm traveling with say, "Hey, she's doing a good job at this. We should take her over to Dead Man's Cliff."
when Mommy had cancer. My name is Trey. When I was 4 years old, my mom had cancer. I was scared that she wouldn't be around anymore. I was sad and mad because Mommy was sick. Mommy helped me not to be afraid. She explained what was happening to her and that we were going to be all right. I wasn't afraid anymore. I became Mommy's little helper. I'd empty the trash, pick up my toys, and dust with a feather. I did all my jobs until Mommy felt better. When Mommy had cancer, once a month she would see Nurse Karen at Yale New Haven Hospital for her treatments. She would sit in a big comfy chair, eat treats and snacks, and sometimes do her nails. I wasn't able to go with Mommy, so I waited until she came home. When Mommy had cancer, sometimes the treatment visits were long, and Mommy will be sleepy and tired. Napping on the couch is when where you would find her and me. When Mommy had cancer, sometimes her food would taste yucky, her veggies were bitter, and her tomatoes tasted like bubble bath. Whatever Mommy could eat, I would eat for her. When Mommy had cancer, I visited her in the hospital. I brought her a bear so that she wouldn't be lonely. Now Cuddle sleeps in my room. When Mommy had cancer, the medicine made her lose all of her hair. But Mommy didn't despair. Mommy and I wore matching caps. When Mommy had cancer, we would say our prayers at the end of the day, thanking God for the family and friends who helped Mommy and me along the way. When Mommy had cancer, I was only 4 years old. When Mommy had cancer, I was only 4 years old. Now I'm 9, and she's all better. Your mommy will be better too.
I'm Linnet Carty, and thank you guys so much for tuning in for this segment. From the first segment, I want to thank Heather Hansen-O'Neil, who wrote that fabulous book, Find Your Fire at 40. But for this segment, oh, this is an awesome one. It is my pleasure to welcome to the studio, here to talk about alopecia, Sandra McNair-Boyd and Natilia King. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for coming. So let's talk about our crowning glory, our hair. And when did you first notice that you were losing your hair, Sandra?
I first noticed in 1999. I started having pain on my head, like literally on my scalp, and I started noticing little blisters and things like that. So I immediately called my dermatologist, and I went in. I had a biopsy done of my scalp, and I was diagnosed with scarring alopecia, which is very rare. There's several different forms of alopecia.
Yes, I was reading about alopecia areata, which is just where you lose the hair in patches.
Right. And I, you know, of course, you know, like you said, your hair is your crown, and I didn't know what to do. And so I immediately started wearing, around that time they were wearing the head wraps and things like that. So I started wearing head wraps, and then gradually it just started falling out in like bigger patches. But I kept my hair in the back of my head.
Okay.
And so my dermatologist decided that he wanted me to start getting steroid shots in my head, which, you know, were very painful. And I was going every month getting 20 shots in my head. And
did your hair grow back?
No, my hair did not grow back. My hair did not grow back. My hair continued to grow all over except for in those 3 patch areas. And so I woke up one day in 2006, and I said, I'm not going to keep trying to hide it and do all these different things and wearing wigs, and I just kind of gave up, and I said, I'm going to cut all my hair off.
All right, so let's go to Natalia. When did you notice that you started losing your hair, and how old were you?
I was in 2nd grade.
Okay.
It was November of 2000.
So in 2nd grade, you're about 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah. And my mom was flying my hair one day, and all of a sudden she was like, there's a spot there, we need to go
To the doctor.
to the doctors and check it out. And when we went, they said that I had alopecia areata, and I just started having patches. And at first it started out in the back of my head, and then it got bigger and bigger until eventually it came from the other side of my head. And then as I got older, it started happening in the front, and then until I had this big patch of hair right here, and I decided to cut it off, and then it all fell out, and now I don't have any.
It's okay. But look how beautiful you are. You don't need any hair. She's a gorgeous girl. She needs to be modeling. She doesn't need to be here on the show. She's so beautiful. I think that's awesome. So you ended up, you had a little left, but you ended up cutting it all off yourself. And Sandra, I think you said you did that as well. When did you make that decision?
I made that decision, and I literally remember the day I woke up for work, and I was completely stressed out, and I said, I'm tired of sprays, and I literally went in the closet, got my husband's clippers, and just shaved my head and went off to work.
Okay. Yeah, and you look good with your head bald as well. But why I specifically asked you to come to the show, Sandra, is to talk a little bit about your comfort in wearing wigs. You guys will see here in the audience and at home, you will get to see the pictures going by right now of Sandra in all her different looks, and I love it. I'm fascinated by it.
I came to the conclusion that this is what it is, and there's not anything I can do about it because I had tried everything, and I just embraced not having any hair, and I, you know, eventually realized that, oh, you know, my head is nice and round, and you know, it doesn't look awkward, and it's like I can go without hair, I can do this, and I just got to a point where, you know, wigs would be fun for me. If I decided I wanted to be Chardonnay, I could be Chardonnay and change my hair, wear long hair, short hair, curly hair, blonde hair, and that's what I started doing. And you know, it's nothing for me to one day have long hair and the next day come in with no hair.
Yes.
You know.
I think that's awesome. Now there are several types of alopecia that we talked about. The other two I know are alopecia totalis,
Yes.
and that's when you're completely bald, and then the other one is called universalis, and that's when you have no hair at all on any of your body,
Exactly.
right? And I know that also that it could be hereditary, it could be caused from diet, there's a number of reasons
Right.
why you get it or how you get it, but that women make up 40% of alopecia sufferers, so there are a lot of women out there that suffer from alopecia. So Natalia, because you're so young, school, I want to know how your friends have supported you and how you've been able to share what you're going through with other young girls.
I did not want to tell my friends at all, and I would only tell my closest friends. Like I have a best friend, like she's always been there for me. So I told her, and she's known since a year after I've had it, and like she was the only one that I knew. And recently, last year in November, I decided to tell my friends because I was tired of it. I told all of my really closest friends, and then I decided to go to school with just to have it. And I got a lot of compliments, and some people asked me questions, but it was fine.
You're a brave girl. You're brave. There's a young girl that is a member of my church, and she has alopecia. She's 5 now. She was 4 then. And her mom is having a difficult time with it. I think she's not old enough to know yet, but her mom's having a difficult time. So I might have to connect you guys, all right? I might have to connect you guys. So what message do you have for women out there that are suffering with alopecia? And what are some of the other alternatives other than wigs?
Well, my message to women out there that are suffering with alopecia is, I don't want to belittle the fact that you're losing your hair because it is a hard thing to deal with, but I also want you to know that you are beautiful with or without hair. I'm comfortable to the point where I'm going to take off my little hair piece so you can see this is what my hair looks like, and this is just a little, what they call a little wigette, kind of like a toupee for a man, it's for a woman. So when I take off my hair piece, this is what my hair looks like. And if I decide I want to not wear my hair, I don't wear my hair. I cover up my spots. I found like different things to use to cover it up, different sprays, and I wear my hair, and I embrace not having any hair. It's not like I'm contagious or, oh, what's wrong with her? It is what it is. And I love not having hair because it's easy.
It is. It is.
It's easy. You get up in the morning and you just feel like, oh, well, I don't want to be bothered today. And you just wash and go.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
Exactly. So Natalia, what would be your message to young girls out there? You're not the only one. There are tons of young girls out there that are hiding it, that are not comfortable talking about it even with their friends. What's your message to them?
Well, my friend Makaya, she compares it to the song "What Makes You Beautiful" by One Direction.
Yes.
And she says, well, what makes you beautiful, you're beautiful no matter what. And
exactly, you're beautiful no matter what. Exactly.
And India Ari has a great song about beauty and the hair and all of that. So
Inner beauty.
Yeah.
Inner beauty.
But my message would be, don't let people bring you down. You are who you are, and people have to accept that. So just walk around with your head up and don't let people bring you down.
Exactly. So as we wrap up the segment, the Center for Alopecia Studies, I know they're always looking for women to come and be spokespersons for them. So would it be okay if I send them a little video clip of this? And would you guys be willing to go and talk to other women that are suffering from alopecia?
Sure.
You would? Oh, I think that's so awesome. I think that's awesome. All right, my guys, thank you so much for coming on. And Sandra, thank you so much for sharing your story. Natalia, for sharing your story. And I always say that God made everybody's head. He only made a few of them perfect. The rest he covered with hair. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. I'm Linnet Carty. We look forward to seeing you on the next program. And I do a big shout out to my brethren in Jamaica, to those of you in London and Ireland who are watching. Thank you so much for picking up the program. And remember, I love you more than good food. Thanks to my director and my camera.